And you're going to hear things about the information technology systems that the state of Ohio has that have been so underutilized that when it comes out, it'll blow your mind as to how we can bring great advancement through the use of IT, even in our own government. We think about this manufacturing. Ford is now committed to investing $1 billion in the state of Ohio. I was up there after the election and I had one of the big car companies' executives shaking his finger at me about how Ohio was failing. Ford is going to invest $1 billion in Ohio, $2 billion in Michigan, everybody else is beneath us. Chrysler is going to have more things to say, stay tuned. And General Motors, they like their plant, they've upgraded it. I've been up there, I've met with them, and they actually put out a statement saying it's great to see the changes that have happened in Ohio that are beneficial for our business. They put it out, I didn't. Pretty good stuff. Manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, can be alive and well in the state of Ohio if we focus on it. And we need to bring it back. And that doesn't mean the jobs of yesterday, but it means some of the jobs of yesterday, but an awful lot of the manufacturing jobs of today that look towards tomorrow. Healthcare is a slam dunk. I'll tell you a little bit about that. We look at healthcare as a tremendous asset for the state of Ohio. You look at the Cleveland Clinic, you look at the University Hospital and Case Western. You look at Ohio State, the University of Dayton Performance Medicine Program, the University of Cincinnati, and all the children's hospitals. We have created a healthcare corridor. If you want to develop healthcare products, you need clinical medicine. If there's anything that Ohio has, it's clinical medicine. So we are now driving with the major healthcare operations, and we're going to invite more of the private sector into this business. And one thing I asked right off the bat, if you are an Ohio inventor of a device for healthcare, then companies and operations in this state should give you top priority, not to buy, but to look at. Right now, we don't even do that. And the opportunity to do clinical trials, the opportunity, I just talked to somebody who's in the formula business. You know what goes through my mind is, wait a minute, if I get your company here and I can get the hospitals to work with you to give you the clinical got it? I don't need to finish that, do I? Did you get that? Okay. So we also think that healthcare is a critical part of Ohio's future. Energy. You got to be kidding me. We've got projects going on right now that involves consolidated natural gas. I've called the governors of Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan. We don't know if this will work, but we want to look at our fleets and see if we can develop a consolidated natural gas industry in the state of Ohio. We will work collaboratively. It costs a lot of money to build these units to compress natural gas. But the fact of the matter is, why don't we create our own energy policy? And to that end, we had an energy conference at Ohio State, 1,000 people for 2 days. You may not have heard that much about it. It was mostly about people protesting fracking. There were about 14 of them. We had 1,000 in the room. So I have to give you the report on the 1,000, not on the frackers. And the 1,000 people talked about how Ohio is a microcosm for energy in the country. We have natural gas, we have coal, we have alternative fuels, we've got waste heat, we have everything. So if America's not going to put together a good energy policy, why don't we put one together for Ohio? And that's what we're working on. So CNG is part of that. Waste heat is another part of it. Let me tell you how that works. You can have emissions going up through the smokestacks that you could recapture and use to run the power that you need inside of your plant. But right now, we're not taking advantage of it enough. Now, the federal government will tell you, if you want it, this is how it works, right? I got all this heat that's going up. It's ruined. It has a negative impact on the environment. Negative impact on the environment. If I capture it, I can improve the environment, save money by powering my operations with some of this heat, waste heat. But the federal government says, well, if you do that, you have to fix the whole plant. Now, there is an opportunity in Ohio to use that waste heat and capture that waste heat in a lot of economic circumstances. We will be coming out with a program to do just that. Now, let me tell you about shale. We have been working on shale for well over a year now. We knew that shale, that Utica, Marcellus was a big deal in Ohio. But it's not something you just slap together. We have been meeting with all the companies. We have been thinking about what we need to do to make sure that we have proper impact fees, what we do to make sure we protect the environment, to make sure that we prepare the public, and to that end we have had probably 100 meetings across the state telling people about what fracking is all about and the tremendous potential it can bring to Ohio with the discovery of natural gas. It can be a major, major economic boom for the state of Ohio. There are 100 wells that have to be drilled. We've drilled about 11. There's not, we still have to work, but so far, pretty good. Based on this information, if this was located in the old days, Reinhardt would be driving west as fast as he could to see if he could pick up the gold off the streets, okay? This is fantastic. Now let me tell you a little bit about the natural gas. It is not just about the drilling. And by the way, as I like to say, we don't want foreigners working on the wellhead. Foreigners are people from Indiana, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Michigan. You're going to have people that work on the wellhead. But you're going to have people that are going to make pipes and pumps and compressors, and we're seeing it now in Youngstown. I'm over there. I see it. We help companies to get going over there. This whole natural gas is not just that system, but it's the possibility of processing facilities that breaks and cracks the natural gas and separates it. It's the possibility, long possibility, of a cracker facility, which also results in plastic. And if it doesn't come to Ohio and it goes somewhere else, we can probably still take advantage of it. It's getting people trained to work in this industry. Not just the folks that, who are around there, but people from all over the state, including programs that will help African Americans find themselves into this industry. So we need to open this up for everybody. It can be a great, great boom for the state of Ohio, and we work on it every single day. In fact, I'm headed to Texas to meet with a bunch of companies down there just to make sure that we leave no stone unturned. This is some of what Jobs Ohio is doing, and it's, it's pretty darn exciting. Let me tell you about a couple other things. All these things have been going on for a while, and just leaving a few of them out there. I want to talk about workforce training for a second. We've got, last time I checked, about 84,000 unfilled jobs, and they say nobody to fill them. You all face that, don't you? Workforce training issues. We are aggressively working to fix this problem. And we are aggressively working with all of our education institutions to get this done. I'm not prepared to go much beyond that today because I want to talk about this in a more comprehensive way later. But the simple fact of the matter is, we need to begin training people for jobs that exist and not educating people in a vacuum. And part of my philosophy on K through 12 and the 2-year schools and the 4-year schools, find kids' passions early. Direct them towards their passions. Get them connected to companies that can respond to those passions, educate them through the system, and start training people for what it is they want to do in life. Not for some theory out here. Education is for kids. Get them educated and prepared and skilled. We'll be talking a lot about that, and we will get that done. I want to mention something to you about higher education. Statistics are kind of alarming. You can't really get a 4-year graduation rate. Your kids go to school. Remember we went to school, it was like a 4-year deal, right? Well, now they only measure it in 6 years. The 6-year graduation rate at our 4-year institutions is 61%. 6 years to graduate, what happened to the 39? And if you're measuring, by the way, the 4-year graduation rate, there's a dispute about what that means. It's probably somewhere around 50%. 50% of our incoming freshmen don't graduate in 4 years? Well, what are we doing? Why are we not, is this a business about I want to get them enrolled but I don't want to graduate them? We're going to get them to graduate them because, Petro and I have talked about this, our chancellor, and we're going to set up a situation where we're going to be able to do the metrics and check this thing out. Well, let me tell you what this means. I'm told that we've got 26% of our working adults with a bachelor, with a basic 4-year degree. The average across the country is 31% with a baccalaureate degree. We're in the bottom 25 percentile in terms of the kids that are getting these college degrees. That's gone down. We need to pick it back up again. And when kids go into school, they need to have guidance counselors. The goal of the university or the two-year school or the technical school should be to graduate kids, not to enroll them. That doesn't fix it. Now let me tell you, if you have less than a high school diploma, your average salary is $23,000, which results in about a 15% unemployment rate. With a high school diploma, you got $33,000 and a 10.3% unemployment rate. If you have an associate's degree, you can make 40 grand and your unemployment drops from 10.3 to 7. If you have a bachelor's degree, you make 54,000 and your unemployment rate is usually around 5.4. If you have a master's degree, it drops to 4%, 66,000. And if you have a professional degree or a PhD, it has an unemployment rate of 2%. Not complicated, right? This means that to bring and generate wealth and stronger families and give more opportunities, graduate people. Get them the two-year degree. Get them the fall. You want to be a heating and cooling guy? Go to school, or a woman, go and get a certificate. Your pay will go up as a result. I don't have any idea why we're not focused on this, but we're focusing on it. And Jim Petro's #1 job is going to be to make sure that we are graduating people and advancing their skills, and we can get it done, I have no doubt we're going to get it done in this state.